Hey, boo. Welcome back to the podcast. It's a new week. Hello, hello. I hope your weeks are off to a great start. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I am just getting back from a very long week in Boston. So this weekend was spent getting myself back together and dealing with a little jet lag, with the time changing back and forth. So just trying to get readjusted. And then went out this weekend, however, to dinner to celebrate a friend for her birthday. But that was really it. I was a real hermit crab this weekend, which I needed to be. I needed that time to myself to just regroup and write down what my focus for the week was going to be, write down my intentions for the week, and just take a chill pill. So excited to be back, excited for a new week, and excited to get on and spend some girl chat with you guys. I wanted to get on with you for a few minutes as something was really bothering me, especially today. And I've mentioned before that I am very particular about who I share my personal business with, especially business as it relates to my brand or big moves that I'm about to make in general. Very, very few people know what I'm doing. And I learned very early on that you are saving yourself a significant amount of stress, doubt, worry, and confusion when you don't share all of your personal business with everybody you know. Especially if you are about to embark on some sort of journey, whether that be you're going back to school and you want to move to a different city, you want to switch jobs, ideas for branding your business, anything goes really. And I was having a conversation with someone I know, not even a personal friend, and they asked me just a general question about how I was doing and how's business, how's Slay Girl Slay going, and then they asked me about an idea that I had, and I guess I mentioned it out loud some time ago, but they remembered this idea that I had. And although I have already fleshed this idea out, fleshed meaning I've already thought this idea through, I've already made a decision about it, I kind of just told this person very casually, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm still thinking about it, but we'll see. And that was my nice way of saying, I got this. And almost immediately, I was being told their opinion about my idea, what steps I should be taking to make this idea happen, when I should be doing it. And it just kept going and going and going. And I couldn't even get a word in to let this person know that I got this, and I am fully capable of making big decisions for myself. However, they just kept going on and on and on about what I should do. And I almost felt as if I was getting chastised for not wanting to listen to this person and continuously let them know that I had already made my decision. Although I 100% appreciate the concern around my decision making, it instantly made me feel a little tension around this idea because I had already decided on what I was going to do. And because they so aggressively pushed their opinion on what I should do, it made me feel not very confident in the decision that I had made. And two, second guess if I was making the right decision in the first place. I am a firm believer in how you feel and listening to your gut and praying about the steps and moves you want to take. And when I get my answer, I lean on it. But the minute someone inserts their opinion about something I should be doing or gives me a suggestion as to how to go about something I've already made a decision about, it's very easy for me to stop listening to myself. And this is why I always preach, keep your mouth shut and keep it to yourself. And although this person may have meant well, I'm pretty sure they did, I am accepting this invitation to discuss something I've already decided I no longer want to discuss. It's one thing to ask for someone's opinion and trust that opinion that they give you. I go to my parents for a ton of advice because I think they give really good advice, but there comes a time where I have to learn how to take my own advice and trust my sauce and not rely so much on what their opinion is and tune into my own. We are all human, and we naturally will always have an opinion about everything, about people, about politics, about our culture, about someone else's culture, about a restaurant we just went to, about the schools we graduated from. Our entire lives are channeled through the opinion of ourselves and the opinions of others and other things. But at the end of the day, what I want you to get from this is that opinions are just that. They're just opinions. And opinions do not keep a roof over your head. Opinions do not feed you, clothe you, or sign your check every 2 weeks. And we need to be a lot more mindful of not only what is coming out of our mouths, but what is coming out of the mouths of other people that we talk to. I say keep your mouth shut, not to be mean to other people or make them feel like you're withholding information from them. I say that as a form of protection. It's a protection mechanism for yourself. I protect my dreams at all costs, y'all, which means I will need to protect the decisions I make and the ideas that I'm writing down and the steps that I need to take to get there. If I don't protect the vision and allow other people's opinions and feelings cloud my judgment and influence me, then it is no longer my vision. It is theirs. You and your dreams and your goals and the plans you have for yourself should not be defined by what other people have to say. How can you learn to stand on your own if you are constantly relying on the approval of others? Because that's essentially what it is. You know, if you came to me with this bomb idea, and this is just an example, but if you came to me with this bomb idea and you know in your gut that is bomb, and you worked out the math and you sat down and you prayed on it and you tell me about it, one, I'm going to tell you that's a great idea. But the minute you tell me, I'm going to formulate my opinion about it. And if I say, hey, girl, that sounds amazing, but why don't you do things this way? And why don't you do it in this order, on this day, at this time, et cetera, et cetera. I have now planted seeds of doubt in your mind. And now, after you've already decided and know in your heart you can do it the way you planned, you now have my opinion floating around in your mind, thinking maybe what I told you was the right thing to do. And you should be able to make your decisions and stand on those decisions confidently without leaning on what someone else will say about it. Growing up, we learn to lean on our parents for everything because, well, they are our parents. But at some point, we have to learn how to lean on ourselves and trust our own journeys and walk confidently on the path that we are going, even if it's in the wrong direction. Because if we're going in the wrong direction and make a mistake, we know now not to make that mistake again. That's how mistakes work, or at least that's how they're supposed to work. But mistakes are lessons for you to see front row center that this was not the way I should do it. This is not the path I need to take. I need to think of something else. I need to do it a different way. I too need to get better at shutting out the outside noise and letting other people influence my mood and my decision making. But that's the world we live in. We get online and that's all it is, one opinion influencing another opinion. And we turn on the TV and it's one news station's opinion challenging another's. And since it will always be like that, at the very least, we should have control over the people we know and talk to in real life and letting their opinions about us and the things we do affect us. Because it's one thing if I log online and based on what I see, get the impression that I don't have enough and that I need X amount of followers or X amount of dollars or likes or whatever to feel valued. But it's another thing if you are talking to my face and you can see all the value I have and still project your personal feelings onto me. And I get it, right? If you have someone you trust and you trust their opinion, which is totally okay, if you lean on that opinion of theirs and let that determine the steps you take, if it ends up being a bad move or a bad decision, how do you know if that mistake was for you or if the mistake was for the person who you weighed so heavily on their opinion? Because let me tell you, what's good for someone else might not be good for you. When people just start shooting off their suggestions about how we should do things, take it with a grain of salt. If I'm being honest, which I am, the first thing I want to do is just say, shut up. Don't worry. I got it. Be annoyed and just try to shut them down as quick as possible. That's me. That's my first reaction. But then I take a step back and I think about it and I listen and I say, okay, cool. Yep. Cool. Gotcha. You right. Okay. All right. See you later. Bye. And call it a day. Who's to say if you stick with your guns and keep going in the direction you're going to go and not letting the opinions of others steer your path, that it can actually work out? I have news. It totally can. Now, there is nothing wrong with seeking the opinion of someone you trust when their opinion is warranted. Keyword, warranted, meaning it's needed. I think it's important to have people you seek out for their opinion when you find yourself in a situation you don't know how to get out of, or you need more guidance on what steps you should take next. But there is a threshold you meet with those people in your life, and you have a mutual understanding that they are in some way an advisor when they are needed, not someone jumping in at every decision you make, giving you their best recommendations. No. I stopped giving out my opinion a very long time ago to people, especially when they didn't ask for my opinion. We all have that one friend who keeps going back to that really crappy guy or just makes very terrible decisions when it comes to men. And as her girl, it's one thing to let her know, hey, I noticed something. And as your girl, I wanted to let you know that I notice you're feeling this type of way. And I can see this affecting you when you're with this guy or when you go out on those dates. Let's talk about it. How can I help you? But it's another thing when you say, I told you that such and such is stupid and he's no good and he's not going to do anything for you and you're stupid if you keep letting him do that to you. Boo. That is your opinion. And although, yes, Ray may be stupid, no good, and doing nothing for your girl, but your opinion about him isn't going to solve her situation. You with me? I always ask now, especially if a friend is really upset and she's venting about something, I wait until she's finished and just ask, do you want my opinion about this? Be conscious of how much of your opinion you're throwing out there at other people as well. Start asking, do you want my opinion? Because that lets you know how you should respond during the conversation. And if your opinion is not warranted, one, you shouldn't take it personal because you did ask. And two, although we'd like to, we don't have the answers for everything. And who's to say your opinion won't mess up the situation more? So I took my conversation with this person with a grain of salt. I said my okays, gotcha, okay, cool, all right, see you later, bye, and moved on. For a second, I thought to myself, well, should I revisit that idea? Should I do things the way this person said I should? Is my decision for myself not strong enough? And just as quick as the feelings came, my inner sauce boss was like, nope, keep doing you, boo. Keep going. Trust your gut. She know what's up. So I want you to lean into yourselves and trust your sauce and know that the decisions you make are yours and yours alone. What you have conjured up in your mind when it comes to your life, only you will be held responsible, not somebody else. You have to provide for yourself. You have to put food on your table. You have to take the steps to get to where you want to go, not them. So take full responsibility and trust that you know what, this may not be a good decision. Maybe it is, but you won't know until you step out and stand on your own 2 feet and trust yourself. We can't overvalue what someone else thinks and what their opinions are, because then we'll be looking to them to fill our cups when we already know how to fill our own cups. At the end of the day, other people's opinions do not sign your check every 2 weeks. They don't put clothes on your back. They don't have the tenacity to chase the dreams you have. They don't understand your journey, where you just came from, or where you're headed. The only person's opinion that will always matter is your own. All right, you guys, that wraps us up for this week. I would much appreciate it if you guys would leave a comment in the comment section with your thoughts on the Slay Girl Slay podcast, and even more if you would subscribe. Send me an email with any topics or feedback on today's podcast, and you can always find us on Instagram at Slay Girl Slay, on Facebook, or come visit us on our website at www.slaygirlslay.com. Until next week, we will chat soon. Peace.